Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed with our help desk management system. So as you can see, we have our login screen. So here we are providing our email address and password. So if I just sign in, this is our dashboard. So on our dashboard, we have some of the analysis here, the number of tickets per category, which is in pie chart, and also some graphs here. Then you also have some details for the tickets. So we have the number of tickets. This is the unique identifier, the title, description, priority, status, the created by and created on. Then you have the comments. So if you click on the comments, then you're able to see the comments. Then you have all the list of comments here, and you can actually filter based on the person who created it. Then you have the ticket categories. So these are all the categories of the tickets, and you can see the subcategories per the main category. Then you also have the list of all subcategories. You have the audit trails. You have the system users. So you can see these are all the users. You have the system codes. So here we have the gender, marital status, priority, and the system code details. So here you can actually now provide the various options. For example, in gender, we have male and female. So if you just type in there, then you see we have here gender, and these are the particular options that we have. Then you have the system roles. So this is the role number, and this is the role name. Then we have the departments, system tasks, and user profiles. Then we have the system settings. So on our previous video, we actually tried to assign roles. So you can see you can add a new role, then assign particular task to a role. Then what we did is, when we are creating users, we added the roles to our application. So you can see here we have the first name, middle name, last name, gender. So we are able to provide the options and even the roles. So when you're creating a user, you can assign them to a role and a gender. But you can see we are still doing some things here. You can actually type in the country and also the city. So what I want us to do is I want us to provide these two things. We can create this country and even the city. Then we'll be able to tie them to our user, so that whenever we are creating this, we can tie the country to the user and even the city. So what I want us to do is, let's just create one of the model. So let's create a model for countries. Then once we create the model for countries, then we can actually update and do everything. So the first thing, let's do one for city. So I'm going to create a model here. Let's just go to our models. So here we'll just do that. Then I'll just create a model here for city, a class. Then we can call this city. So I can call this city. Then we'll be having some properties here. So some of those properties are like the city name. So let me zoom this so that you're able to see. So here I'll just do public int ID. So this should be int. Then you can have a get set. Then you can also, so this should be city. Sorry. So you can do this way. So I'll be having my ID there. Then I can have now my city. I can say this is the string. I can have my code here. I can also have the city name now. I can have the city name. So maybe the city has a code. So this is say name. Then you can also do here. So we can actually say here postal code. Then here I'll do, so we need a country. So what we need to do, let's create another model for country. So I'm going to create another model here called country. So here I'll say country. Then on our country, we need some properties. So I'll just do public. So sorry. So I'll just do that. So I'll do public string. So we can do int first. That is the ID. Then ID get set. Then I'll also do the code of the country. So I'll just do here string. So here I'll just do string. string, then I can do here code. Then I can also do the name. That is the name of the country. So I'll just do here the name. So this should be name. So since we have the country ID, so we have the ID, code, and the name. So if we go to city, I want us to link it. So what we do here, I want us to do public. So you should be able to tell which country. So here we should be having the country ID as our foreign key. Then we should be able to link this to our country. So here we'll just do now country. And here we'll have now our country. So we'll call this country. So since we have this, then the next thing that we need to do is we can import our user activity. So our user activity has all the properties about the user, the created by, created on. Instead of duplicating that, you can always do this. Then you have the country. So you can also have here, you can say user activity. So since we have these two, the next thing that you need to do, we need to go to our application DB context, and we actually need to add them on our application DB context. So here I'll just add country. Then here I'll say countries. So we'll be having our countries. Then here I'll say here city. Then here I'll say cities. So since we have that, then the next thing that we need to do is to add migration. So I'll just do tools, NuGet package manager console. So since we have that, then what I want us to do is we need to add migration. So I'll say add migration. Then I'll say countries. So if we add migrations, then our migration files should be generated and we should be good to update our database. So if you're new to this channel and you're watching this video for the first time, we are actually doing a series of help desk management system, and we are going to complete this series to ensure that our help desk is working and we have exhausted every feature and even functionality within our application. So we notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you have not subscribed. Consider subscribing, like the video, and you can even share. And in case you need the source code, you can claim the source code using the link down below. And you can always buy us coffee if you feel you want to. So as you can see, our file has been generated. We have the create table, countries, ID, code, name, created by, created on, modified by, modified on. And you have these primary keys and the foreign keys. Then you have our table, cities as well, with ID, postal code, name, country, all these details. So since we have that, we need to update our database. So we'll just do update database. So update database. And if you press enter, our database will be updated with the new tables. That is the countries, and we have the cities. So once those two are updated, then you are good to scaffold and you are good to actually create countries in our application. So as you can see, everything is running fine. So all our migration has been created and updated to our database. So let's just proceed and scaffold. So we are going to our app. You're going to scaffold this new scaffolded item. Then you can do MVC controllers with Entity Framework Core. Then here I'll just choose countries. So I'll just choose here countries. So where is it? Our model, which is country. Then our controller name will be countries. So if I add, then our app will be generated with the new code. So the countries controller, the views, and everything will be generated, and we should be good to now do the CRUD operations. So as you can see, our code is generating. So if you are new to this channel, you can consider subscribing, like the video, comment down below, and you can always access the source code if you need. You can use the link down below to claim the source code. So as you can see, our code is generating. So let's just wait and see. So there you go, our code has generated. So we have our countries, and if you go down here, we'll be having our list of countries. So you see, we have our countries folder. So the next thing is I want us to do is our cities. So new scaffolded item, then and MVC with EFCO. Then I'll just do here city. Then I can just add. So this will generate the controllers for cities and all the views. So as you can see, our code is generating. So let's just wait and see. So there we go. Our cities controller has been generated, and if we go down here, we'll see our cities, and we have our index here. So the next thing is, let's just go back to our shared layout. We add them on our page. So we're going to add them here. So we'll just add them. So I'll just so what I want us to do is so let's just add it down here. So we can add it on down here. So let's just copy this, and we can have cities. So these will be countries. Then you can say this is countries. So the next thing is we can have our cities here. But let's just do this. We can actually change how we access our cities. So let's just add it for now. So let's just do cities, and then this is cities. So once we have that, we can launch our app, and we should be able to access now our cities and countries. So we should now be able to create a country, and we should always create a city as well and tie it to a country. So let's just see how this works. So we are going to create a country and a city at the same time. So let's just launch our app and see. So our app is launching. So as it's launched, so if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and like the video. So these actually help us to reach more people and showcase what we are doing. So if you want this to get to most of your friends, you can always share. So you can see our help desk management system has launched, and we are going to sign in. Then we can access our cities. So if you scroll down, you'll realize that we have our countries and cities here. So if I just click countries, then we should be able to have our list of countries, you see? So we're going to copy the same UI that we have been using. For example, the UI within tickets table. So under index, so let's just copy what we have here. So I'm going to copy this particular from the table head up to this section. Then if we go to cities, I'll add that here. So then I'll just say this is cities. Then if I do that, I can say add new city, and all these will be fine, and I can actually do this. You can close again, can try to close, and if we format, we should see our tag here is closed at the top. So that's cool. So let's also copy for the countries. So I'm going to copy for the countries here, then go to countries. Where are the countries? So I have countries. So where is it? So we have it here. Then I'll just do index, copy the styles here as well. Then we'll say this is countries. Then here I'll say add new country. So add new country, then I'm going to close it here as well. So if we just close it, and I can format. So here we can close all these particular options. So I'll close it here, close it here. So if we format, everything looks fine. So then if we update our app, if we just do update, then you should be able to see some changes on our UI. So you should see these are buttons, and even the created by and created on should be okay. So let's just confirm. Yeah, it's updating. There we go. So you can see this is add new country, and you have this. So we can actually remove the modified by and modified on across the list that we've just added. So I'll remove the modified on here, and I can also remove the modified on here. We just retain the created by. Then the same thing we should do on our cities. So I'm also going to remove them. So I'll just remove this, and I'll also remove these two. So the next thing is I want us to borrow the buttons. So let's just borrow the edit delete buttons that we've been having across our entire system. So I'll borrow the buttons and I can add them here. Then I need to borrow the headers as well. So I'll just borrow the view. So if you want to, you can actually duplicate what we've been having for those who have been following this series. So you can see you have the delete. So the same thing we can do under countries. I'll also update it here. And then under index, I'll copy this and I can add it on our countries. So I'll also update it here. So if I update our app, it should now be able to update, and it should be good to we should be good to now create our. So let's just see. So it needs to, we should reload. So I'm going to stop the app and also relaunch. So up to that point, if you are new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, as we are going to enhance this application and add more of the features. So we'll actually be also trying to print some of the data here, and also exporting to PDF and Excel. So as you can see, we are trying to log in. Then there we go, we are on the dashboard. So if I go to countries, this is our countries. If I add new, it should give us this particular option. So you see we have the create code and the name, then you have the create by. So we should not be able to allow users to add this. So we should remove that on our form. So let's just go to create form. So I'm going to do this as MD12. Then here I'll just do div class. So I'll do div class row. Then I can close this. Then I can also do here div. So this one will be, can do div call MD6. So this is MD6. Then I can close this here. So I just want 2 columns. So in a single row. So here I'll just close that again. Then I can do away with all this. So I can do away with all this because we don't need them. So if I update, that is how now my app will look like. And what I need to do is I need to close my div row here. So if I do that, then I'm okay. So the next thing that I want us to do is if we go to, so we can also do the same to, do the same to the cities. So let's just go to create. So this we do 12, and here I can do that way. Then I can close it here. I can also do here MD6, and I can close it here. Then if I do that, I need to remove, yeah, I can do also another MD6. We have the country. Then I can also do this. Then after that, I can remove all these created, modified on, all this nonsense here. So I'll just remove it. Then I'll also close our div. So if I format, you'll realize that our div is now closed and we are good to go. So the next thing that we need to change is, so I'll try to remove these particular options here at the top, and also what we have here. So the next thing that we need to do is, when we need to assign the created by. So you remember what we have been doing on our creation actions. So we have been assigning the user. You see this? We have been assigning the user, created on and created by. So that's what we need to do. So you should actually assign the user who is logged in, and not allow the specific users to select who is creating the records. So if you go to the countries, I'll try to now add here. So we need to remove this because we don't need them, and also this one so that it doesn't slow on speed. Then I can remove the binding. So I'll remove the binding here. And what I'll do is I'll just do here, I'll update that way. So I want us to, so for the country, I'll do country created on and country created by. So this will now update the user who is logged in, and we should do that also to our cities. So the same should apply when editing. So if we do away with this, we can do away with that as well, and also on this other end. So remove those. And now when editing, remember when editing now we are updating. So you can pass the modified by. So instead of created by, you just say here modified. So I'll just do here modified by ID, and this is modified. So this should be modified on, and this is modified by. So if we do that, then I'm cool. So here, this is fine. So the next thing that I want us to do is I want us to also do the same under cities. So I'll just do here cities, and we are going to remove the created by. We leave the country one. So just don't remove that. Then we can do away with this binding, and we can also do away with this, leave the country one because we need that drop down option. So here I'll now update. So for the city, I'll also say city, that is it. And here we'll say created on, and here we'll say created by ID. So then we are adding the city, and that's cool. So this is now how our code looks like. So let me just try to. So since we have this now, we should now be in a position to create the countries. So let's just launch our app and create the country. So when we create a country, we should now then proceed and create a city. So for those who are watching this channel for the first time and you have not subscribed, consider subscribing, like the video, comment down below, and even share the video. So we notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you have not subscribed. So if you are part of them and you have watched this video until this far, then consider subscribing because you are actually ensuring that we reach more audience and also have visibility to our content. So as you can see here, we have help desk management system. Then we are going to sign in. Then on signing in, we are going to now create the countries that we've just updated. So if you do countries, so I'll say here, create new. So here you see our arrangement. Now we have the code and the name on this other side. So if I say KE, that is Kenya. So I'll say here Kenya. And if I create, you see my country is created. Another country here is SA, South Africa. So if you are watching us and you are from this country, comment down below. So I'm also doing here, let's say I don't know if this is the shortcode for India. So India guys, try to update us down there. So I'll say India, then I'll do Senegal. So if I want you guys to comment down below the shortcode for your country. Let me do UG, Uganda. So guys from Uganda, if you're watching us, comment down below. So that is Uganda. Let me do SO, Somalia. So if you're watching us from Somalia, you can comment down below. Which other country? GH. I think I don't know if that is the shortcut for Ghana. So if you're watching us from Ghana, you can comment down below. Let's do RW, Rwanda. If that is your shortcode, you can comment down below. So we are trying to create some countries here. So which other country should we create? Let's US. So if you're watching us from USA, please consider subscribing and you can comment down below. So that is United States. of America. So United States of America. If you are America. So if you're watching us from USA, you can comment down below. So those are some of the states that we've just created, and you can see our app is working. But now, there is one thing that is not clear. You see created by, it is showing us the user ID. So how do we change that? So let's just go to our countries. So on our index, we should actually change that. So here we'll say variable. So this is countries. And then here we can use what we call the one dot per line rule. So if you do that, then we can include, so we actually have these included. So I think that's cool. Then you can do here to list. But now if we go to our countries index, instead of displaying the name, we are displaying the ID. So here we should do full name. So that is the name of the person who is logged in. So let's just relaunch our app. So the same case to countries, to cities, instead of displaying created by ID, we do full name. And in full name here, full name. So let me try to full name. Then on the country, you see we also need the name of the country instead of displaying the ID. So let me just launch the application. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. So tell us where you are watching us from, and you can also tell us some of the things that you need us to include on this project, and we'll be actually adding some of those items. So here we are going to sign in to our project. Then we will do some updates and create the cities. So here we'll go to countries. So as you can see now, we have the test user. So this is the user who is logged in. So you have the code and the name of the cities, of the countries. So the next thing is, if you go to cities, we need to add a city now. So you see we have the postal code and the name, but on the countries, we are displaying the integers. So we don't need this. So we should actually display the name of the city, of the countries, instead of the name. So what we need to do, we go to cities, not even cities, we go to the controller for cities. And then everywhere we have the view data, we need to display the name. So we just pass here the name. So here we should say name. And actually ensure you are passing the correct name, because if you don't pass the correct name here, then your application will crash. So here, the next thing is create, then you can also do here name. So everywhere we have that, then we do name. So let's just proceed and try to, so the next thing we can modify is the display names. So if you go to city, you can change the display names here. So you can say here, display name, then you can do this. So here I'll just do that. Then I can say, so sorry. So we can do this. Let me just, you can do that. Then you can say, this is postal code. Then I can also change here. I can say this is city name. So this should be city name. And I can do here country. I say this is country name. So if we do country name, so I'm going to do here name. Then that is cool. So if we have the country name, then we can also do the same thing to our countries, our country model. So let's just go to application DB context, and then we navigate from there. So you see here, you can navigate from here. Then you can change this to country code. So you say country code. So whenever you paste this, it imports something. So it is actually importing this using system.component model. Then we have also the country name. So here we say the country name. So the country name. So let's just launch our app now and see. So you should now be able to create a city and be able to see some of these namings that we've just added. So in case you want to have that, you can always do this. And you can always, it's always advisable to decorate the view model instead of the models. So we'll be actually seeing how we can use view models instead of the models on our views. So if you want to see that, subscribe and keep posted for the next video. So let's just go to our application. So under countries, you see now we have the country code, the country name, created by, created on. So that is what you are able to see there. Then if you go to cities, you can add new city. You see now we have the postal code, the city name, and the country. And the names, we now have the cities. So I'll just choose Kenya. I say Nai. So this is Nairobi. So if you have been to Nairobi, guys, comment down below. So if we create, you see we have our postal code, city, country created by. So all the details are there. So let me just see LD. So for those guys who have been to Nairobi, please comment down below. And if you're watching us from Kenya, you can also comment down below. So you see you have the LD. Then I can do here NAX. So this is some of the cities in Nakuru of the city. So sorry, this is one of the city in Kenya. Then we have Mombasa. So I'll just do Mombasa. Then this is Kenya. I'll also do KISS. Sorry, so I'll also do KISS, which is Kisumu Dala. So if you are watching us from Kenya, you can always comment. So these are some of the cities that you've created, and you can see you have the postal code. So actually these are the code. Instead, we've actually done code instead of the postal code. So you can change this to the code. Sorry for that. So the next thing, assuming I am in countries, you see here we are in countries, but I want from this section to actually see the cities within that particular country. So we can do that. So let's just add something here on our countries model. Not even the countries, but on cities. So on our, let's just add it on the countries. So let's add another view page. So I'm going to add another razor. So just view. Then I want to add a razor view. So this one, I'm going to call it country. So I'll call it country cities. So this will give us all the cities for a particular country. So we are going to copy the index page for cities. So go and copy the index page for cities and come and paste it here. So this one will give us now the cities of a particular country. So here I'll just remove this and have the cities here. So let me just I can remove this. We can just leave the edit and delete. So we see we have the view called countries cities. So the next thing that I want us to do, let's go to our cities, and I want us to copy the index details as well. You see this? But now let's take them to the countries controller and just paste them down below the index page for countries. So here our index page will actually give us an error. So we need to give it the name, the same name as our view. You see these countries cities, so we'll just do here countries cities. Then here we'll say cities. But now these cities, we are going to filter the cities based on the country. So here I'll just do that, and I'll just do that. So, and I'm going to remove this. Then here I'll just say dot where. So we are going to filter them. So we say where x is equals to x dot country. So here will be country code. So remember here we need to pass something. We need to pass ID. So here we'll say country code is equals to ID. So this will give us all the, then we just say to list async. So this will give us all the, it will give us all the cities for a particular country. So let's just do this. So this one now will give us all the cities of a particular country. So if you go to the index page, we can now add another tab, another column called cities here. So if we just do cities, then we come down here, we add another section. So here we'll just put in, you can say warning, you can say success. So I don't know if we have something like that. Then we have, so our view, instead of redirecting to the details, will redirect to the country cities. Then this one will call it cities. So if we just do cities, and then we relaunch our app, we should now be able to access the cities for specific countries. So let's just launch our app and see. So for those who are watching this video for the first time, consider subscribing, like our video, and comment down below. And in case if you need the source code, you can use the link down below to access the source code, and you will be helping us to reach more people and also ensure that we continue posting. So if we sign into our application, then we should be able now to access the cities. So you can see from here, we are able, if you go to the cities tab, we are able to get all these cities. But if you go to the countries, assuming we want to create another, let's create another city for Uganda. So you say Kampala. So you say Kampala. So if we create that, so you see we have now another country called Uganda here with Kampala. Let's create another one for Rwanda. And we say here Kigali. So this is Kigali. Then if we create it, then we have Rwanda and Kigali. Which other city do we know? Let's say Somalia. We say Mogadishu. So this one will be Mogadishu. Then if we create it, then we'll have our city here. Now we have all these cities. You see, we have the cities in Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and even Somalia. So if you go to the countries section, you see we have the cities tab. So if we go to, assuming we go to Kenya, if I click cities, it should actually take us to the cities. And so there's something that has went wrong. Yes. So if we go to countries here, instead of doing view cities, we should return cities. So that is what is missing. So let's just relaunch our app again and confirm if everything is okay. So we should now be able to see the cities within the countries instead of actually filtering. And on our previous video, we actually also went through how you can filter data. So if you want to see that, you can always consider watching most of the series that we've been doing. But in case you just need the source code, you can always claim the source code. So as you can see here, we are going to access the project. And here I'll just go to cities. You see we have all these cities that we've created. You have Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda. So if we go to now the countries, from within the countries, like Somalia, if I click cities, I should be able, so there's something not working. So let's just confirm what's wrong. So you see here, the model item pass into the view is of time. Let's see, generic, but this insert requires a model of type, enumerable city. So you see, it is actually, we should actually get the list, but the countries index. So let's just see, countries. This one should be enumerable model city. It's the same thing, we have it here. So under cities, this is what we have. So this is what we have. So let's just confirm. So if we go to countries, we should be having this. Yes. So if we also go to cities index, we are returning this list. You see, to list async. So if we go to countries, so if we go to countries, so here this is saying await operator. So here you should actually, so there's something wrong here. So it should be that way. So I don't know why it didn't give us an error. So this should be await context cities. So that should be the case. So let's just relaunch our app again and see. And you can even have a breakpoint here to see if we are getting the ID for country, the country ID. So then we'll be filtering the country ID on the cities table. So you see where we are now using the foreign key to ensure that we get the related data. So if we sign in, we are going to now see the filtering. So let's just go to the cities. I mean to the countries. Then if we click Uganda, ID here, you'll see it is number 5. So it will now give us the list of cities. So you see the cities, it is 1. So if we proceed, we should now be able to see Kampala. So you see, it is giving us only Kampala. So that is what we wanted to do. So let's just go back to the cities, countries again. And if we filter Kenya, we should only see all those cities in Kenya. You see Kenya, the country here is only in Kenya. So if you do the same thing to Rwanda, you will only see Kigali. And if we do the same thing to Somalia, we'll only see Mogadishu. So you see, that is it. So I want to leave it there for today. Keep watching and remember to subscribe. And that is it for the day. See you in our next video. Bye.